please welcome to the stage, Christine. Yeah. Hi. How are you? Good to see you. Is this a good time for you?
So I'm from Texas. It's this whole other country. I'm from working class military stock, and I have always been the liberal sheep of the family. Whenever anyone meets my parents, one of their first questions, quite naturally, is about their children. And my parents always respond, yeah, we got 2 boys, they're U.S. Marines. Oh yeah, then we have a daughter. She's a doctor, but not like a medical doctor. Some other kind of doctor. And my 2 younger brothers, right, have always, of course, teased me about being different, right? We'll be around the breakfast table, and I'll be like, hey, guys, can you pass the butter? And one of them will say, why don't you just use your brain to levitate it? And the other one will be like, yeah, nerd. And it's this very weird dynamic because I'm the eldest sibling. Like, I should totally be picking on you. But, our differences are not always that funny. So when my youngest brother, Derek, came home from boot camp for the first time, he wanted to show me something on his laptop. And so we sat down on the couch, and he opened it, and there, as the background image on his laptop, was a picture of a dead man. And he was splayed on his back, and there was a rifle in his hand, and just a mess of blood and bone and gore where a head should be. And I said, what the fuck is that? And he said, oh, as if he didn't even notice it anymore, right? Double-clicking on the file he wanted. That's a dead Iraqi. And it was this very heavy moment. Like, how am I related to you? How do we have the same parents? How were we raised in the same house? That brother, my baby brother, Derek, has been deployed twice. First in 2009 to Iraq, and the second time in 2011 to Afghanistan. And he came back from that second one a totally different person. His brand new marriage was on the rocks. He was clearly racked with PTSD, but he was too scared to get help for it. So I don't know if you guys know, but in the Marines, apparently, if you're diagnosed with PTSD, it follows you around, keeps you from doing certain things, and in order to avoid risking that, he refused to get help for it at all. So my parents threw this big welcome home party for him, and I flew down for it, and it ended at 2 a.m., and it was just me and him on my parents' porch. And he was sitting on one of their chairs, and I was standing in front of him, and he was telling me everything, all the horrible things that he had said, seen and done. And I just held his head against my stomach and let him cry into my t-shirt. And I just felt this very strong connection, right? Like, despite all of our differences, with the things that will always connect us. 1 year after that night, I'm at the Metropolitan Opera in New York City, and I check my phone at intermission. And I have 13 missed calls from my brother Derek. No voicemail. And I freak out. I call him back. My hands are shaking, and after a few very long rings, he picks up. And I said, Derek, I'm so sorry. I missed your calls. I'm at the opera. Are you okay? And he says, of course you're at the opera, nerd. And I was like, well, that's normal. Okay, that's good. I said, what's wrong? Are you okay? He says, quick, I don't have time to explain. What's your address? And I said, what do you need my address for? I just told you I don't have time to explain. Just give me your address. And so I tell him my address, and as soon as I'm finished with the zip code, he hangs up on me. And I spend the rest of intermission staring at my phone, and then I have to put my phone away for the rest of the opera, and I missed the second half of Aida. Like, I have no idea what happened in the second half of that opera because I'm so worried about my brother, and like, why does he need my address? After the opera, I call him back, And he said, hey, so sorry I had to hang up on you, but you called me the second I was about to walk up to meet President Obama. And I said, wait, what? You met President Obama? And he said, yeah, he just like swung by our base. He wanted to meet me and a couple guys. You met President Barack Obama? And then he proceeds to tell me that he had 30 seconds with the President of the United States of America, and he chose to use them this way. Hello, Mr. President. My sister loves you. Sir, a couple months back, Hurricane Sandy pretty much wiped, New York out, shut it down. And she spent those days, sir, in a phone bank calling Ohio for you. Sir, you won, Ohio. Here's her address. I'd appreciate it if you'd write her a thank you letter. I'm like, you did what? And he's like, yeah, hell yeah, I gave him your address. And if he doesn't write you, he's an asshole. I never got a letter from President Obama, but it doesn't matter because I think I got something way better. Thank you, guys.